So, cars making their way onto the grid here at a very hot Hockenheim, and the grid based on that 10-minute blast that we had this morning. So let's have a look at the grid then. Alessio Dono is the man on pole position. Ben Green with him at the front, ahead of Lucas Auer starting third, and it is Max Hofer starting number 6, Lamborghini fourth on the grid. And Alessio Dono then on pole position, Ben Green alongside him, come up towards the lights which go green. We are racing at Hockenheim, it's the Ferrari front row, the two of them go toe-to-toe. Down towards turn one, Dono will turn in ahead of Ben Green. Lucas Auer on the inside, 1 or 2 run way wide going out of turn one. Better that than contact, you could argue, and then they come up the short run towards turn 2, which in turn, having gone right, flicks you left through that little S-bend, and as they scrabble their way round the corner, look down from the drone, which is about to chase after them. Alessio Dono still leads. Ben Green is there in second place, and Lucas Auer is third. Yeah, so the top three, more or less as we anticipated. Ben Green got the jump into turn 1, but then Dono came back into turn 2. Now they're going side by side down the run into turn 6. Mercedes that little second or so behind the two. Mercedes off the track coming down. You can see on the grass, and I can't read which one that is. Now that, I think, is the Dustin Blattner Dennis Marshall Porsche that's in strife in the background, having been roughed up a little bit, having been squeezed towards the grass. And Ben Green is absolutely determined, isn't he, to get past Alessio Dono. He feels he's got the speed to do it. He's conscious of where Lucas Auer is. Ben Green goes to the outside. Dono closes the door. Ben Green looks to get the undercut coming off the corner here. Tries to get up the inside out of turn 8. Again, can't do it. Alessio Dono still leads.
But right now, Lucas Auer has closed the gap, second to third. Now these two Ferraris fighting corner for corner, has got the Mercedes right on the tail of the second place Ferrari. Yeah, so Lucas Auer, for whatever reason, has reeled in the second place Ferrari. There is that battle for second and third positions. Lucas Auer too far behind to think about a lunge at this point. Maybe not by the time he gets down into the braking zone. So covered by Ben Green. Now up down the inside. Wow, what a move. And so may a dummy, but Ben Green saw it coming, gave working room, a little bit of hip and shoulder there, coming off turn 6, but that was a late break from Lucas Auer, and I mean, great television we saw live from the cockpit and from the cameras at turn 6.
But he couldn't make that move stick, ran wide, opened the door back for Ben Green, and now tries to get up the inside at turn 8 there, but to no avail. Ben Green fending him off, so that Ferrari may not be fighting for the race lead, but Ben is not prepared to give up second spot.
As these two battle for second place, don't forget Dan Harper in fourth place. He did drop back almost to 2.5 seconds behind Lucas Auer, but these two are going to actually slew one another up. That's going to bring the BMW and make this a three-way battle, I think, before we see the first round of pit stops open, and that could be a three-way battle for second place.
And there could be a place change yet, because here comes Lucas Auer once again. Ben Green, though, goes defensive, covers off the inside line. Lucas Auer wants to go wide in and tight out, but I don't think Ben Green is going to leave the door open, is he? Absolutely not. Stops the car on the apex almost, and says to Lucas Auer, you've got to go the long way round, and then includes the grass.
Yeah, Lucas Auer, I thought he was going to try and make the cut back. What Ben Green did is he did the right thing to protect his second and sort of stop Lucas Auer from making his counter move. And you could see the consequence as they came out of turn 6. Lucas Auer was almost on the grass again, 2 wheels, and he had to almost come out of the throttle to avoid contact with the rear of the Ferrari. Now look at Dan Harper, how much he's closed up to this battle. Initially the gap was static, now it's closed up to it's a three-way battle. Dan Harper's the one that's got the momentum to close down.
Out wide went Ben Green, made a mistake there coming out of the Spitzkehrer. That puts Lucas Auer up the inside. They're absolutely mirror to mirror going down the straight now into the Mercedes arena. Ferrari gets forced out wide. Ben Green's got the inside line for the corner. He will go back through, but he's going to go out wide. Here comes Auer. He's on the pedal. He goes up the inside. That's the outside for the next corner, but he's got the job done, and Dan Harper tries to open the door as well. He's up the inside line. Do we see red? We do on the inside. Ben Green tries to defend, and Dan Harper goes through as well. 2 places lost in really a handful of corners by Ben Green.
But Ben Green's coming back. Dan Harper ran wide coming into the stadium, so he's got that position back. And that all began because Ben Green ran wide on the exit of turn 6, opened up the opportunity to Lucas Auer, and Dan Harper thought a little bit of that as well, but he got slightly wrong-footed himself coming into the stadium. Wow, what a great battle between these 3 cars.
So now you're going to see what pace Lucas Auer has really got, because there's a clear real estate ahead of him, and he's also gapped Green enough not to have to worry about defending. So through he goes. It's game on now. Dono versus Auer. 4.3 seconds is the starting point. Third is Ben Green. Fourth is Dan Harper.
Well, on the last lap, the gap in terms of time, now second to first was about 1/10 of a second. So Dono is consolidating. But now that you've released Lucas Auer in the Mercedes-AMG GT3, he can do what we know he can do, and that is charged. Look at the gap, how quickly he's opened up between now second and third place Ferrari. And again, Dan Harper looking to find a way to make that, put the Ferrari back into fourth place. He's got the run coming down into turn 6, too far, and again, defence from Ben Green, but make the undercut, don't get too close now, cut back without touching the back of the Ferrari. I think it's probably, well, he's got a good drive off, the BMW's got good drive, coming off turn 6, now side by side, and I think Ben Green getting his elbows out all over the place.
Doesn't like being overtaken, does he? Dan Harper goes through. Ben Green closing up again, under braking at turn 8. Oh, frantic stuff, but the BMW stays ahead. Don't pick on me, says Dan Harper.
Ted barely can get all the words out in the right order, let alone out at all.
And as Ben Green accelerates down towards the stadium, that's the replay of Dan Harper getting up on the inside with the leaning between the two.
Yeah, I mean, that was hip and shoulder by a new level. So Dan Harper had to stand on the brakes. He didn't really get the line into the corner. He wanted pit lane, of course, is now open. But we expect to see the lead cars, Dono, Auer, Harper, Callan Williams. We've seen Ben Green has come in.
Yeah.
There is the Ferrari that for many laps was in second place.
I wonder whether that was tyres that were going off. He worked them so hard in defence. Eventually they might have given up the struggle.
I think that's been very much the case. It was always going to be a difficult race, even though this is only a 30-minute stint. The track temperature, the ambient temperature is so high, and the just tyres, they just cry enough. I'm trying to cry in sympathy, but that's what you get. So Weerts has handed over to Dries van Voor, who's immediately all over the back of the Ferrari.
Yeah, Ben Green has given away to Conte Lapalainen and should be able to make his way through. Lapalainen not as experienced a GT star as Dries van Voor. He's trying to brave it out under braking for the Spitzkehrer. Wait for van Voor to get the switch back. There it is, inside line, puts his foot to the boards, and there's enough real estate for him to get the BMW nicely alongside, and job easily done.
Yeah, I mean, it's an overrun into turn 6. Allowed that undercut to come. Dries van Voor, so experienced, so knowledgeable, and a great race driver as well.
Now the champagne awaits. Let's see how rapidly Miss Engel runs off the podium. Yeah, all good. Lucas Auer attacks anybody he can find with the champagne, and doting dad is the one that gets soaked. And the lights go green then, we go racing. A demon start by Ricardo Feller, who moves right across to defend from the second row cars as they go down towards turn 1. But Engel on the inside line squeezes through, takes the advantage. They flash out of turn 1 and up towards turn 2 for the first time. 1 or 2 go wide. There's a damaged Audi, which I think is Paul Everard's car at the back of the pack. But Engel leads the way as they head up towards turn 2 for the first time. The Lamborghini then led into the corner. Who's going to lead out the other side? We've got one on the grass there. That looks like the Sky Tempesta Ferrari. Just about gets back onto the circuit. Down towards turn 6 for the first time. Ricardo Feller has been off the road, look, and delayed, and he's been passed on one side by Lapalainen and by van Voor on the other, as up front, Engel leads.
Yeah, and he's got a comfortable lead now coming into turn 6, and whatever Ricardo Feller did, it happened up in turn 2, 3, and he's really opened the door for both the Ferrari and the BMW. As we look back, and coming through the exit of turn 6, then the acceleration is all a bit sort of hip and shoulder as they come up into turn 7. So he's going to try and run down the Ferrari and the Audi, but maybe the Lamborghini's got a second win.
Well, certainly Engel getting away a little bit. Further back, by the way, 7th Tom Fleming still leads silver, and 21st Dustin Blattner for Rutronic Racing leads bronze in the Porsche. Race leaders making their way up towards the timing line once again. Luca Engel goes through, 7/10 of a second last time, now 1 second up, and drama for Ricardo Feller. Drama on the front, there's a failure of some description, and he's gone way out wide into the corner.
Yeah, something left front looks to me to have failed. It doesn't appear to be a tyre, and all of a sudden at the critical point in turn 1, that tyre smoke indicated you've got a major problem, and that's a trip back to the pit lane, but it's a long trip back. It's 4.5 kilometers back, and you're going to have to basically hobble your way back and all over, regrettably, for the 99 Audi.
On board with van Voor now, he's up to 3rd. That's Conte Lapalainen ahead of him in the Ferrari as they come up now towards the hairpin. Van Voor thinks about the inside line and faints for it, and the door is open. Lapalainen gave him lots of room and almost invited van Voor to have a go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he needed to be so generous. Maybe he just slightly overran the entry into the corner. Again, van Voor straight on it and saw the opportunity, but recovery from Lapalainen, and now down into, well, I mean, how close can you get without contact? Great driving by both drivers to avoid that contact, but Dries van Thor used that momentum and he wanted to make it stick. He didn't want to get caught behind the Ferrari any longer than he is, so he's got to do another attack onto Lapalainen, and not much you can do in this part of the racetrack. Inside the stadium, into the Sachs curve, well, not really. Anywhere else around the rest of the circuit, turn one, that's putting your heart in your mouth to think about doing it there.
Move that across the track, but I do think we're going to end up with a safety car period has come now, so the safety car is going to be deployed to bring everybody round back up to speed.
I suspect it'll be a pretty fast safety car deployment as well, because we are getting close to that pit lane window being open, and I'd like to hope that the safety car deployment might be little more than a lap to let then the window open as per schedule.
That Van Thor was talking about on the radio. Leader is in, second is in, third is in. Drudy stays out, Engel stays out, Fleming stays out, Götz is in. So 4 out of the leading 7 down the pit lane. Niederhauser likewise.
Yes, so this is going to be, and so the 48 has it come in? Just looking to see whether Mauro Engel is. Yes, he has.
No, stayed out.
So Engel stayed out. So Engel's best chance for the 48 Mercedes is to stay out and try and get clear air and capitalise on it.
Ben Green getting away up front in the Ferrari then. And this is for second and third. Charles Weerts goes through, Lucas Auer behind him. And there the Ferrari with the advantage, 2.5 seconds last time, 2.8 seconds this time. Is working nicely, getting away from the BMW. So the race with just under 10 minutes to go as the cars turn once more through the Spitzkehre. There is Callum Williams pressing on in pursuit of Jules Gounon, who, of course, at the start of his stint was all over the back of Nicolas Bart looking for a place. Now he's having to defend, and Ben Green here is doing a masterful job up front. He's now 6 seconds clear.
In lovely, clean, clear air. No, nothing to worry about. All he has to do is just make sure he's got his rhythm. Don't change any of the things you're doing behind the wheel or on the brakes or on the throttle to attain your rhythm. You're going to extend your advantage over Charles Weerts' 32 WRT BMW going through the Sachs curve. So lap upon lap, the gap between first and second is just going to increase.
It is indeed, and we've got 9 minutes to go. So Weerts second, our third. Way up the road has gone Ben Green, on target for a maiden win in Fanatect GT, sprint or endurance. And it will be a really good result, not only for him, for Konsta Lapalainen, but also for the Emil Frey racing team that's not had a huge amount of luck over the last couple of seasons within this championship. Just under 3 minutes of the race to go as you ride looking back from Weerts BMW at Lucas Auer. Charles Weerts stretching that margin a little bit further here. There's the leader though. Down towards the stadium comes Ben Green, and this has been a tremendous effort.
Yes, excellent team effort by Emil Frey Racing to get that car in and serviced and out. And once Ben Green got behind the wheel, he's never seen anything except just an empty racetrack ahead of him. I mean, really excellent drive by Ben. We saw that at Brands Hatch, very impressed. And now coming here and winning the second of the 2 1-hour sprint races at Hockenheim.
Checker flag at the ready. Ben Green is going to be the first British driver to win in Sprint Cup since 2019, and he wins with Konsta Lapalainen, the first Finn to win in Fanatec GT. A delighted Emil Frey Racing team. Second, Charles Weerts and Dries van Thor, and third, Lucas Auer and Mauro Engel. There, Ben Green, the British driver, delighted with that. He's been a winner in the German GT Championship and has plied his trade largely of late in European categories rather than back home, but he's made people sit up and take notice this weekend if they haven't been sitting up and taking notice before. That was a very, very well-driven race by Konsta Lapalainen to begin with, and by Ben Green, the DTM trophy winner 3 years ago, the sort of pseudo GT4 class. And Ben is delighted, understandably. Yes. Very, very happy team. Konsta Lapalainen will be equally pleased, I'm sure, with that. And from Ginetta Junior Racing, like so many of the British GT drivers these days, through British GT into German GT, Ben Green coming out on top. And with Konsta Lapalainen's first stint, their winning margin 6.3 seconds in the end.
Ben, Konsta, we can see how much this means to you. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's just such a great result for the team. You know, just super proud of them. They're working so hard in the background, and they gave us a fantastic car today. Konsta did a great job in the first stint, so yeah, super result.
Yeah, I think it's a long time coming. I think we were close already in Brands Hatch, and Misano was a little bit disappointing. Yesterday also P3 and now the victory, so it's a really good weekend overall.
Absolutely, well deserved. Go celebrate, guys.
Thank you, thank you.
So Konsta Lappalainen, Ben Green taking a first win and making the second stint look pretty easy. Good pit stop helped as well, of course.
Yeah, good pit stop made it a lot easier. Make no mistake, the value and the importance of a pit stop to give you the opportunity to leapfrog your competitors. But really the job on the track, Ben Green, for both drivers, Konsta Lappalainen and likewise in his stint, kept that car always up in the front group of cars.
And then the top step, a first win for Ben Green and Konsta Lappalainen. And the Emil Frey Racing team takes honours here at Hockenheim. A tremendous result after a really impressive drive by both men. So well done to Ben Green, to Konsta Lappalainen. And so now the trophies to be presented by Valma Nadarevich from Fanatect to the third placed Canaries in their bright yellow overalls, Mauro Engel and Lucas Auer. Then to Dries van Thor, still looking a little disconsolate despite taking the championship lead, and his co-driver Charles Weerts. And then the team's trophy will go to Emil Frey Racing. And for Ben Green, for Konsta Lappalainen, it's been a long time coming, but it's a first win in Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS Sprint Cup for the Brit, for the Finn, for Ben Green and Konsta Lappalainen. Everybody then, trophies aloft, will huddle together for photographs. And a very happy podium it will be. The champagne is ready. And the way that it's been seesawing between BMW and Mercedes shows it's going to be a really competitive end to the championship year. So let's look at the highlights then of that race. Pit stop window open, but it was a slow stop for the leading Lamborghini. A drama around the front right corner cost them well over 20 seconds against the opposition, and it was therefore Ben Green in the lead of the race. As further battles continued, including David Pittard and Gilles Magnus, they were absolutely toe-to-toe, and then nose-to-tail. The damage did to the Aston Martin brought that into the pit stop with the rear screen having popped open. Other battles went on, including Cesar Gazzo trying to get himself up past the Benjamin Goethe McLaren, but Thierry Vermeulen was able to get past both. Up front though, Charles Weert fended off Lucas Auer, and neither could catch this car, the charging Ferrari of Ben Green and Konsta Lappalainen, victorious in race 2 here at Hockenheim after a great weekend of Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe Sprint Cup action.